I'm going to be demonstrating how to can homemade apple butter using a hot water bath technique. And I have my audience here. I have been canning for the past 2 years, canning such items as apple pie filling, salsa, apple butter, and tomato preserves. I've learned this technique from a Martha Stewart cooking show. First, we're going to start with the tools needed. A good investment of tools will last you for years to come. First off, you need a jar grabber and lifter, a rim tightening tool, a spatula with a measuring end, and a funnel. I'm also using pint-sized jars with rings and lids. You can also use bigger jars depending on your project. A pot of boiling water with a grate in the bottom. You can buy a specialized canning pot, but I'm using a homemade version with a baking cooling rack in the bottom. A pot of boiling water to sanitize your jars, lids, and rings. For the apple butter, we will use 4 to 6 pounds of apples, 1 cup of brown sugar, 1 cup of sugar, a tablespoon of cinnamon, and a teaspoon of allspice, and also a crock pot. You will start off with adding the apples into the crock pot with the brown sugar, and the spices. You stir it up. Depending on your time limit, you can cook it on high for 4 to 6 hours or on low for 8 to 10 hours. Once the apple butter reaches a dark brown color, you can stir it up into a smooth consistency such as this. Once you have your apple butter done and hot, you will pull your jars out of your sanitizing bath and place them on a towel to avoid breakage. And you will funnel in your apple butter into your jar using the funnel. The funnel allows the room to stay clean to allow a good seal. You will leave a 1/4 inch headspace. The headspace is to allow for the product to expand while it's processing, as well as to allow a vacuum seal to be created. Once you fill up your jars, you will place the ring on the lid and the ring on top, and you will lift your jar and place it into your boiling hot water. While in the water, make sure none of the jars touch and they are fully submerged. You will leave them in there for 15 minutes time. That is to allow it to process. Once it's processed, you will use your tool once again, lift the jar and place it back onto the towel. If it's placed onto a cold surface, it will cause breakage in your jar. Once it's on the towel and cooling, do not touch it or move it and allow it to sit there and cool. As it's cooling, you will hear the pop of the seal. That is to demonstrate that the vacuum seal is working. Once it's completely cooled, you can take the ring off of the jar, lift up on your seal here. If it does not come off, you have a perfectly good sealed jar. You will label it with the date, and you can store it in your pantry as this without the ring. The rings and the jars are reusable. The lids you will have to buy each time you can so that they do properly seal. Apple butter can last up to 2 years using this method. Canning food's a good way to preserve your summer garden bounty for months, even years down the line. You can also have fun and pick your own orchard or farm and preserve the produce that you receive in this manner. Some people also give out their gifts with canning items by placing fabric over the top of the rings and personalized labels for a gifted flair. Or some people may even choose to sell their items in a farmer's market or at home. There are several different fruits and vegetables you can use to can and different ways that you can use to use your canning items. Thank you.